Good morning. It's 7:15 on February 6th, so it's the designated day. Uncle G from Audacity Donnie, and today is our preparedness exercise. Emergencies happen. We don't have any indication usually that an emergency is going to happen. Sometimes the power just goes out for no reason. Sometimes the water just goes out for no reason. Today, we're going to simulate both happening at the same time because when it rains, it pours. So we are going to shut the water off and shut the power off for the next 24 hours and just see how we do. Big D ain't happy with this. She says, "Already?" I said, "You think the storm is going to wait for you to wake up?" And that is it. Now, the dogs don't care that it's dark and that the lights are out and that the water's out. They still need to be taken out, so they're going to be the first thing that gets taken care of. We'll see how things go for the rest of the day. Let's see. As you can see, it is 26 degrees outside and 69 degrees inside. So we didn't just pick a nice, easy day to do this. It's cold out there. We're going to see how long it takes for the temperature to drop inside the house. The baby said, "Come on, Daddy. We're ready to go outside." Ready to go outside? Huh? Ready to go outside? Okay. Let's go.
Plan on slippery road conditions.
So one of the things we
additional details
have available to us is our emergency radio. I'm going to listen to see if I can figure out what's going
This will
on.
increase the potential for slippery road conditions, especially during the late afternoon and early evening hours.
Sounds like a snowstorm's
Slow
coming.
down and use caution while traveling.
Fun.
Winter
Now,
weather
just to be
advisory
clear,
in
we
effect
didn't really
from
do
9
anything
a.m.
special
this morning to 9
to get ready
p.m.
for this.
Central
So
Standard
we're going
Time
to
this
just
evening.
do with what we have.
What? Snow
We did
expected.
get this radio
Total
knowing
snow
that we needed
accumulations of
one.
1 to 3 inches.
But as far as putting extra water away or extra food away or anything like that, we're going with what we got.
Portions of southeast Kansas and
It's early in the morning and I need coffee. So one of the things that I do is anytime we have a juice jug or a milk jug or anything like that, I go ahead and fill it up with water and stick it out here just in case we need it. And since the water's out, we need it. And we're going to get some coffee going. Got a little sterno stove, no, a little water pot. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So we went ahead and filled the whole pot up because I'm sure we'll need hot water for something later on. And so since we got to get it going for coffee and tea or whatever else we're going to drink for this morning, even some oatmeal maybe for breakfast, might as well heat it all up, see how long it takes. Well, it took about 45 minutes, but we got there. It's time for coffee. Actually, tea for me. Well, we're going to see if we can refill the container with water from the pipes. Even though the water's off, there's still water in the pipes. We can capture it. That's a good thing. And it is cold, so we don't want to have the pipes freeze if we can help it. I don't think it's that cold. We're not gonna. We're at the low, which is 26. So go upstairs and turn on some faucets so all that the pressure comes down here to this one. This is the lowest spot in the house. Well, that was easy. We completely refilled that container, and now we're just draining water into a pot so that we can have it available if needed. So that's all the water we get out of the pipes just from opening up the valves. You also have potable water in the back of the toilet tanks. It might sound disgusting, but that's clean water. And you also would have water in your water heater. Now, I wouldn't recommend drinking that, but it's warm right now, so if you need hot water for something, now would be the time to get it. And you can just drain it into a container and use it for whatever you need. I wouldn't consume it, though, without filtering it. Since we don't know how long this is going to last, in theory, we moved everything out of the freezer and the refrigerator and moved it down to the deep freeze downstairs. That way, if we have to run a generator or something, it'll all be in one spot. And if the stuff that's left in here, if it thaws out, we'll just eat it. Man, we just tried to call our emergency contacts and neither one of them answered the phone. Guess we won't be making a trip to the off-site emergency place today. Alright, so as you can tell, we're going to be pretty comfortable. We got television even. We don't have cable out here in the country anyway, so it's just an antenna. And since we got the generator running, hey, we got television, so we can actually see if there's anything emergency situation going on, we'd be able to tell. This is the best that we've ever had because we didn't have a generator before. We got it about 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Oh, it's more than that. It was 2012. 2012 is when we had the derecho come through in Virginia. And we didn't have a generator then. We were 5 days in the dark in the basement, sweating. And so shortly after that, we went and bought one. We haven't needed it since then, but hey, it's always good to have. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Uh-oh. Well, I guess we're running too much power. Probably that might. We're running too much power. So we're going to have to shut something off. Alright. So it looks like our shop light may have been too much draw on the generator. So we have cut down to a little compact fluorescent light, and we still have the heat and the television on. So we'll see how long that lasts for, and hopefully we'll be good from there. If nothing else, we can unplug the heat and start the fire. We just don't want to do that yet because it's not really needed right this moment. We're just trying things out. How you cooking lunch, Big D?
Whatever this little concoction stove you have.
What you making for lunch, Big D?
Spam sandwiches.
Spam.
Spam.
Spam?
Spam.
You really surviving.
Yeah.
So it's a little after 5, and so we've been at this for about 10 hours so far. It's time to get dinner going. Figure might as well throw something. grill. Let that heat up. And it's starting to get little snow flurries out here. So we'll see how that works. Right now we're nice and toasty inside the house. Got the fireplace going, and it's actually the first time we've used it this year, and it works pretty good. Works better with electricity because it's got a blower on it, and so we've been running the generator for about 4 hours now to see. We filled it up, see how long it'll run. Looks like it's just under half after 4 hours, so that's not bad. And it's only about maybe a 3-gallon tank, maybe 4 at the most. So that works out pretty well. So far, so good. There's a lot of things we're gonna do while the power is out, but one of them is not gonna be stopped. We're gonna eat. Got some pork steaks going on. Time to get that sizzle going. Yeah. Down a little bit. This thing popping. Alright. And get this going over here. What that is. We got some quinoa and some Brussels sprouts and some pork steaks. So about a half hour or so, we're gonna eat. I said it was 5 o'clock, didn't I? It's cocktail hour. Might as well while we're out here cooking. So as you see, we're set up. Everybody seems happy. The babies are happy. Are you happy, babies? Huh? Are you happy? Huh? This is only because we can. We got all the stuff plugged in. If we couldn't, we would. We got it at 68 degrees in here right now. When we first started, it was 60. And we don't have the place completely closed out. Go ahead. Hey, go ahead. Thank you. And we're trying to space the wood out so that it can last through the night. So hopefully we'll be all right. We should be all right. If not, once the sun goes down, we can always just get in bed and just keep warm some kind of way. Oh, baby. Yep. Okay, it's 7:15 on the 6th, or no, the 7th, Super Bowl Sunday. The exercise is over. And power's back on. Now the water. Back on. Our experiment is over. I think we did pretty good. Got some lessons learned. We'll go over those later. You ready?
Ready.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You don't want to do this?
No.
You didn't want to do it yesterday either.
No.
Alright, so this is the after action report. We're just going to go over some of the things that we did yesterday with our power outage and water outage simulation, and then, how it went, how we think it went, and then things that we can do to improve so that if we had to go through this in reality, we'd be in good shape. So, first off, Miss D, how do you think we did yesterday, all in all?
I mean, all in all, I think we did okay. we just need some light bulbs. But as far as that, I mean, we were warm. We could watch TV and be on my phone, and so I think we did great.
What we need light bulbs for? What was that all about?
Well, we needed light bulbs for our lamp because it wasn't enough light with the fluorescent light bulbs, so that's why we need regular light bulbs.
Yeah, it was just kind of. It wasn't bad. It was just a
No.
little dark.
Yeah.
With just a single compact fluorescent light, and so we figure if we just get a regular, 100-watt bulb, we should be good to go as far as having enough light to do whatever it is that we need. We also figured out that using the shop light didn't work.
No.
It drew too much power from the generator and tripped it. So while it didn't throw off that much more light, it could have, because I just didn't clean it yet or anything like that. So all in all, the light went good. The generator took a little while to get it started, but once it got started, it ran perfectly. I do need to change the oil in it. I don't know that I've ever changed the oil in it, or if I have, it's been quite a while. So we're going to go ahead and do that in the next few days. It ran, once I filled it up, it ran from 1:15 in the afternoon until 10:45, so 9.5 hours on a single tank of gas, which is good, and that's good to know. It's a 4-gallon tank is what I believe it is, because there was about a gallon left in the tank when we were done. It's a 5-gallon can. Now, one thing I did make a mistake on was I have 2 of those 5 gallons, and only one of them had gas in it. I thought they both did. So I didn't realize we were out of gas on one, so fortunately we didn't need it. But for future, I want to get like a 30-gallon gas tank so that we can hold more gas. And then we always can siphon gas out of the cars or the trucks if we needed to, if it came down to it. That would be additional storage for us for gas. How about food?
Food was all right. We had instant coffee. I found out that we still had.
She didn't know.
I didn't know. And then we had some kind of little camping little stove that I cooked on, and you cooked on the grill. So we were good.
So we did say that since we have the generator, it would be good to have a hot plate.
Yeah.
In the house, electric hot plate that we could plug in. Now, it has to be something low wattage so that we're not tripping the generator, but might look into getting a hot plate just to make it easier. We do have all kinds of other things to cook on, propane and wood and pellet and all kinds of other good stuff. It was cold out there. We picked one of the coldest days
to do it.
to do this, because when we got up this morning, it was 13 degrees, I think, and the house had dropped down to 55. And
It's just now getting warm.
yeah, it's 3:30 in the afternoon now. We turned the heat on at 7:30, and we're still only up to 66, 67 degrees. It's a heat pump. It takes a while to work, but yeah, it got cold. And
Yeah.
last night it was cold.
I mean, we had plenty of covers on us.
Yeah, we have a big mink blanket from the Korean mink blanket, imitation mink blankets. They're really thick, and this thing is about 30 years old, but it works great as far as keeping the heat in when you're in bed. So you don't really notice it except for when somebody's pulling the
Covers open.
blanket to them or throwing the blanket because they're hot. There was a lot of that last night. Dogs were fine. Didn't have any issues with the dogs. So all in all, we fared pretty easily on this. It could have been a whole lot worse. Without a generator, it would have been a little quieter. We wouldn't have had as much stuff to do. We just sat around watching movies and stuff all day. We didn't have any bad weather. The 2 inches of snow that was forecast didn't come. Still hasn't come, but it's still cold. And at least for us, it's cold. It might not be cold to people in Michigan or Minnesota, but it's cold to us. And all in all, I think it did well. I'm not sure if we're going to do the whole week in March because there's a couple of things I'd like to get prepared before we do a whole week. We might do a long weekend in March. That way, we'll get a little more experience with it. And during the next one, you're going to be in charge of figuring out what needs to be done as far as getting things set up and starting up the generator and things like that, because I can easily do it, but you need to be able to do it too.
Yeah,
So that'll be interesting.
as long as you walk me through it.
I'll help you, but you're gonna have to use your brain and say, okay, well, what's the first thing we need? Well, it's pretty cold in here. Oh, that was the other thing, the fireplace. So we have a wood stove, and it works really well. But in order to throw out heat, it really needs the blower to run. So it doesn't throw as much radiant heat out without the blower.
Yeah.
And if we had to rely on that, that would have been rough without having electricity. So we know that we need to have plenty of wood. It'll burn wood pretty quickly if you let it. So you got to do some conservation with the wood. We didn't have any issues with that. But if you just want to burn, it'll eat it up as much as you want to throw in it. And then when you're out, you're out. So we got to make sure we replenish our wood supply and have plenty on hand if we need to run through this again, because we had enough for a day. I don't think we would have made it beyond last night if we would have kept using it. We did let it die out when the generator went off. It was about dead anyway, and rather than running it all night, because I didn't think it was going to be that much of a benefit. So we got to make sure we have more wood, and we've got lots of trees down in the property, and we got to get them cut up and seasoned so that we'll have them ready for whenever we need it in the future. What else? Anything else? Well, thanks for joining us on this adventure. If you found this interesting, hit the like, subscribe, all that other good, happy stuff that we like to ask everybody to do. Share on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. We're not on there yet, but we will be. And we'll see you on the next video.
Bye.